This is the second part of the video series on curing allergies and intolerances, and in this part I'm going to tell you a little bit about history of allergies and how do we get them, causes of allergies. You can't cure something if you don't know where it comes from, why you got it. And why is it important to talk about history? Well, it's a part of the whole story. Okay, so history of allergies. Just a few interesting details, like that king of Egypt died 5,000 years ago, more than 5,000 years ago, of a wasp sting. Now, the only way to die of a wasp sting is if you are allergic or you have anaphylaxis, anaphylactic reaction to a bee sting. So it's been recorded somewhere, in hieroglyphs that he died of wasp sting, and that's the earliest record known, of course, to us today of an allergy. What does it tell us? It tells us that allergies existed a long time ago, but also based on everything we know about how common they were, let's say just 300 or 400 years ago, when there were actually people writing about it, we know that they were not even close as common as they are today. Another case of allergy reported is that Britannicus, son of Roman Empire Claudius, he was so allergic to horses that he would get blinded when he was riding, simply by the rash that he developed from the allergy. Another interesting story of allergies is from the King Henry III, who knew himself of being allergic to strawberries, and he used it to get somebody he didn't like killed. Lord William Hastings, he accused him, he simply ate strawberries before meeting Lord William Hastings, and he got all red, all in hives, and he accused Hastings of putting curse on him, and that was enough to kill a man. Yeah, it was a tough time. And then a Roman philosopher, Lucretius, he wrote, "What is food for some may be fierce poison for others." This shows that he knew about allergies. If you want to learn more about history of allergies, there is a book called Ancestors of Allergy, and there is a detailed history of allergies there. Looks like this. And here are a few stories. I'm not going to read all those stories, but it just shows you, like, 5,000 years ago, ephedra was used in China to treat allergies. So Chinese knew about allergies. In Egypt, they also knew about asthma and allergies, and in Eber's papyrus, which is extremely old, like 3,500 years, they actually wrote all the details how to treat problems. All they knew at the time. Yeah, I'm just giving you a little bit view of this. You can stop, pause this video and read if you want. More about Eber's papyrus. Again, pause it if you want to read it. And again, Greece, Rome, Roman time, Hippocrates. Hippocrates knew about allergies also. More about Hippocrates' story, and let's jump to the 1796. So we jump now to about 220 years back in time. Why is this important? It's important because Edward Jenner actually created the first vaccine that year and used the first vaccine. And he is the father of vaccination. Why are vaccinations important? Well, they are part of the allergy story. 1837, first anaphylaxis was recorded, and this is also a very important thing here. You see, this Francois, what he did is he took and injected egg protein into a rabbit. No reaction first time. Second time, rabbit dies. So he recorded it down. He didn't know what is going on and why it's happening, but this is the first recorded experiment showing that injecting foreign protein into a body can create allergic reaction. Anaphylaxis is extreme allergic reaction which can kill. Now, if you remember, in the first part of the video I told you definition of an allergy. It's an exaggerated reaction to a foreign protein inside the blood or inside our cells. This was the year when an experiment has been done and it has been recorded. Very important. You will see later why. And another thing that happened in 1906 was that Clemens observed that patients who developed reactions to inoculations, to vaccination, and then received a second vaccine, a smaller dose a few days later, they often develop asthma or hives, urticaria, which is a sign of allergy. So, already 1906, we are talking about 110 years ago, Dr. Clemens knew that you can create an allergy by vaccine. This is very important. Why? I'll tell you later. And he even concluded that this is happening because immune system is producing antibodies. He is also the first man who's used term allergy. So that's actually how the allergy was created, the word allergy. And then 1921, a big leap again, immunoglobulin E antibody was detected, and now 100 years later there are tests that are testing. When you use to be tested for allergies, actually you're tested for immunoglobulin E's. So it's a modulator of all type 1 allergies. So we are going back a little bit in history and just telling you what has been known, why. The true allergies, I already told you that before, are the allergies of type 1. They are mediated by immunoglobulin E. And top 8 allergens, food allergens, milk, eggs, wheat, soy, peanut, blah blah blah. Over 90% of people are allergic to that. How do those people get allergic to it? Also, there are other allergies. There are cosmetic allergies, nickel allergies, sulfites. The question is, what is causing allergies? What are the underlying causes of allergies? And there are several theories. And one of the theories is that it's vaccines. And Center for Disease Control in the United States actually did a study and proved it. Yes, vaccine cause allergies. And this is the abstract of that study. Most anaphylactic reactions and some urticarial reactions to gelatin containing measles, mumps, and rubella monovalent vaccines are associated with immunoglobulin E mediated gelatin allergy. What it simply says is this: if you take a vaccine twice and that vaccine contains gelatin, you risk getting gelatin allergy. Now, what did I say about what is an allergy? Allergy is an exaggerated reaction to a foreign protein inside our blood. What was vaccine? Vaccine was injecting foreign protein, gelatin, into blood of kids. And I just told you in the history part of allergies that 120 years ago, doctor observed that he could create allergies by giving twice the same vaccine. Okay, so for 120 years ago, it was known. Now, why is all this important? Because if you go to any website by the CDC, if you go to any website by any larger organization, and you try to read about allergies, all they will tell you is it's genetic. Somehow, from 1 or 5% of people being allergic to 50% of people allergic, our genes decided to be nutty and we all got allergic, but it has nothing to do with anything else. It's like saying of 100 people who smoke, 70 develop cancer. Conclusion is those 70 has faulty genes. It has nothing to do with smoking. Because the other 30 didn't get cancer, it means it has nothing to do with smoking. Well, of course genes played a role. I mean, two different people will not get the same allergy if exposed to the same allergen. And genes are a factor. Nobody says they are not. But God forbid they mention vaccines. It's simply politically incorrect. But I can't be politically correct in this video because this video is about truth about allergies. I'm here telling you what the truth is. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm not trying to wrap the truth around some fog like they are doing constantly. So, the story is that there is causal relationship between development of gelatin allergy and taking DTaP vaccine or measles, mumps and rubella vaccine as well. DTaP is diphtheria, tetanus and pertussis vaccine. And there is even more studies. Evidence that food proteins in vaccine cause the development of food allergies. Another study. 2015 study, Nobel laureate Charles Lichey demonstrated over 100 years ago that injecting a protein into animals or humans causes immune system sensation to that protein. Subsequent exposure to the protein can result in allergic reactions or anaphylaxis. This fact has since been demonstrated over and over and over and over and over again in humans and in animal models. So for 120 years, doctors knew that vaccine cause allergies. Not all doctors. No. Your doctor that has gone to school today might have gone through the university for 5 years and never heard this mention, vaccine cause allergies. It's politically incorrect to say that to a doctor. Only if he was studying immunology or history of vaccination, he would actually learn about it. The author of this study, Vinny, he said that administration of multiple vaccines simultaneously, a common practice today, increases the risk of developing food allergies. And not only the chances of developing food allergies increased by multiple vaccinations, but other vaccine additives exacerbate the risk even more. So, vaccines contain some additives. These are aluminum salts added to them. Why are they added to them? Okay, if you just take a protein from a virus or from a bacteria and you give it to a person, he gets a very, very mild immune reaction, not strong enough to develop enough immunity. And that has, the producers of vaccine, they have known about that for quite some time. Now, if they put now to get around this, they don't want to really give you the live virus or live bacteria, because then, you're gonna get the full disease. So the point is, get just not weakened, you should get weakened bacteria, you should get a weakened virus, but develop a full immunity as if you had a full-blown disease. How to do that? Put some adjuvants to the vaccines, put some aluminum salts in it, put some other things in it, and yeah, you get a strong reaction. Now, these other things, like aluminum salts, they make stronger immune reaction. What is an allergy? Allergy is immune reaction. What happens, for example, if a vaccine was made with gelatin, with egg, with peanut oil? You develop an allergy to those things. And that's exactly what vaccines are made. They are made on nuts oils. They are made with eggs. They are made with peanut oils and gelatin. And that's how some allergies are developed. But there is more to it. What happens when you receive vaccine and the same day you have consumed wheat or milk or eggs or fish? You have received aluminum salts, which are there to give an extreme immune reaction. And they can give an extreme immune reaction even to things you have consumed, you have eaten. And that's how people develop some other allergies. So, this guy who made this study, he really, calls for urgent action regarding vaccine policy reform, including the removal of food proteins from vaccines altogether and the re-evaluation of the use of the aluminum and other adjuvants in their manufacture. So, what he wants actually is to change totally the process of manufacturing vaccines, like remove all the foods. Well, if you remove all the foods, how will you make bacteria or virus grow? Because that's how you make bacteria or virus grow. You make them. You need large amount of bacteria and large amount of virus if you're gonna make a vaccine for 1 billion people. And that's usually, vaccine producers, that's what they do. They make vaccines for millions. They don't make vaccines for 3 or 5 vaccines. And to make vaccines for millions, you need a lot of virus, and that virus has to eat something. And that something often is some food or bacteria. Yeah, whatever. So, well, what he's calling for is probably impossible. And in the meantime, he strongly recommends the addition of food allergy warnings in vaccine package inserts until steps are taken to remove the compounds that cause such allergies. So, I will repeat one more time. What is an allergy? An allergy is an exaggerated response by the immune system to a foreign protein detected inside our blood or our cells. What is a vaccine? Vaccine is usually made from foreign protein and different additives. Vaccine is injected into our bloodstream, and thanks to additives, it's expected to cause an exaggerated immune response in order to create a long-term immunity to virus or bacteria. Now you see, what is vaccine and what are allergies? It's like 1 + 1 = 2, man. But this simple truth, doctors are not allowed to know, because this is politically incorrect to talk about. Why it is incorrect to talk about? Because too many people might get an idea that, oh, I don't want to vaccinate my child, And if too many people get that idea, the public idea of vaccination, it's not going to work. And then next problem, antibiotics. So what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are usually made out of, let's say, penicillin. It's made from penicillin mushroom, and it's a toxin. It's a toxic mold, and this toxin is toxic for bacteria. Why are bacteria important? Inside your digestive system you have 1,000 species of bacteria living there. So from your lips, your mouth, your stomach, your small intestines, your large intestines, there should be 1,000 species living there. What happens when you take an antibiotic? Well, it's about the same what happens if you burn a rainforest. Imagine a rainforest with 1,000 species living in one area, and you burn it all down to the ashes. And rain comes and washes those ashes, and not only ashes but washes also the earth. How long time will it take for a rainforest to re-establish itself? So, exactly the same thing that happens to a rainforest by burning it, it happens with your intestines. You take antibiotics, you destroy everything that is there, and then you expect it to come back. And every single species living in your intestines has some purpose there. And for every single species that you remove forever, and about 20% of them might never come back after antibiotics, for every good species that you remove, there might be a bad one taking place and causing problems. Another problem that those bad bacteria or yeast or fungi will do once you kill the good one is something called change intestinal permeability. One of the functions of your intestines is to absorb food. You're supposed to absorb food that you have eaten. But not everything you have eaten. Only special molecules that are of specific size, like water, passes through. Minerals pass through. Molecules of amino acids, molecules of fatty acids pass through. Large protein molecules are not allowed to pass through. That's when we are talking about healthy intestines. Unfortunately, once you start using antibiotics, you change that. You change your intestines forever, and they become increasingly permeable, which is also coined leaky gut, a gut that leaks, a gut or intestines that allows passage of foreign proteins into a bloodstream. And there we come again to the story that I told you. What are allergies? It's a foreign protein inside the bloodstream. What antibiotics do? They kill bacteria, they increase intestinal permeability, they cause leaky gut, and leaky gut means you get proteins into your bloodstream and you develop new allergies. So, all this is also well known, but it's politically incorrect to talk about that. Because vaccines and antibiotics are the bread and butter of medical world, of doctors. What would the doctors do if they wouldn't have antibiotics and vaccines? All the other medications are just to treat. They don't cure anything, they don't prevent anything, they just treat. Antibiotics and vaccines are the only thing that actually are effective at doing something. Unfortunately, they are overused, and the result is huge number of diseases today. So this is a picture that shows all the antibiotics you have taken during a lifetime. And we come to hygiene hypothesis, but this will be a subject of the video number 3. So, part 2 of allergies finished.